Greetings, dear listener. Today, I shall tell you a timeless tale, a story of love, power, and destiny that left its mark upon history itself. It is the tale of Cleopatra, the radiant queen of the Nile, Julius Caesar, the mighty ruler of Rome, and Marcus Antonius, the warrior whose heart was forever bound to hers. Once upon a time, in the fertile lands of the Nile, there stood a city bathed in the golden light of the sun, Iskenderia, a city where the sea kissed the sky and where wisdom and splendor reigned as its crown. And in that city, a woman was born, one whose name history would never forget, Cleopatra. Cleopatra was of Greek descent. Her father, Ptolemy I, was the ruler of Egypt. From the moment she drew her first breath, her destiny was written caught between the golden walls of the palace and the dust of the battlefield. Years passed, and when her father died, Cleopatra was just 18. She ascended the throne alongside her younger brother, Ptolemy III, who was only 10. But even from the very first day, she knew in this kingdom there could be only one son, and that son was her. Cleopatra's brother feared her power. Deep down, he knew, to rule alone, he would have to be rid of her forever. For his sister was not only beautiful, she was strong, commanding, and unafraid to lead. In the palace corridors, whispers slithered like snakes, and glances carried poison. Ptolemy bribed officials, bending loyalty to his will. And then, one day, the young queen found herself torn from her throne, sent into exile. Banished to Syria, Cleopatra wiped her tears and spoke only one vow. "I swear by the blood in my veins, I will reclaim my crown. I will fight until my last breath." In exile, she gathered strength, winning hearts, earning loyalty, and forging an army. She marched along the Nile, reaching the eastern gates of Egypt, the city of Pelusium. But before battle could begin, the sky brought another player to the game, Julius Caesar, the mighty dictator of Rome. Caesar stepped between the two siblings, halting the war. And so, a fragile peace began. But Cleopatra was far from satisfied. She desired all the power, and she knew she could not reclaim her throne without Rome. And the key to Rome was Caesar's heart. One night, a secret passage in the Roman palace opened. Two guards carried a long rolled carpet, believing it to be a gift for Caesar. They set it down before him. The carpet unfurled, and from its folds stepped a woman, her black hair glimmering in the candlelight, her eyes daring, her beauty undeniable. Caesar knew her at once. Cleopatra smiled.
"Mighty Lion of Rome, shall I open the gates of Egypt for you?"
Caesar was struck by her boldness, by her presence, and perhaps by something deeper. From that moment, it was not only politics that bound them, but desire. Cleopatra and Caesar spent the winter in Iskenderia. Outside the palace walls, her brother's armies surrounded the city. For months, the queen stayed within, crafting strategies. And Caesar, too, lent his mind to the fight. When spring came, Roman reinforcements sailed into Iskenderia. The tide of war turned swiftly. Ptolemy could not match their strength. As he tried to flee, the waters of the Nile claimed him. The throne of Egypt was Cleopatra's once more. To secure her power, Cleopatra wed another brother, Ptolemy XIV. Soon, she bore a child, Caesarion. Whether his father was Caesar or her brother, only Cleopatra truly knew. Yet she proclaimed him the son of Caesar, the future king. In gratitude, or perhaps for something more, Cleopatra sailed to Rome, her golden ships glittering on the waters. The people of Rome watched in awe and in unease. For the Queen of Egypt now walked side by side with Rome's most powerful man. Though she claimed it was a visit of thanks, Cleopatra's true purpose was clear: to see Caesar and to place their son before his eyes. In 44 BC, tragedy struck twice. Ptolemy XIV was dead, and so was Caesar cut down in the Senate by daggers of betrayal. Rome split in two, Octavian in the west and Marcus Antonius in the east. Antonius, the fearless general, master of the eastern provinces, came to Egypt. Long before, Antonius had seen Cleopatra at Caesar's side, and even then he was captivated. He would watch her from afar, obey her requests without question. Now, with Caesar gone, nothing stood in his way. Antonius spoke his heart openly, and Cleopatra, ever drawn to strength, welcomed him. He visited her often, their days and nights intertwined. Their bond grew, and in time she bore him twins, Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene. But in Rome, Octavian saw their union as a threat. If Antonius and Cleopatra joined their powers, they could topple him. War was inevitable. In the waters of Actium, great fleets clashed. Antonius, as expected, commanded Egyptian support, yet his heart was not in the war. He spent more time in Cleopatra's chambers than on the battlefield. The queen, a lover of power above all else, grew restless. Frustrated by his neglect of the fight, she ordered her ships to withdraw right in the midst of battle. Antonius knew if he stayed to win, he would lose her, and so he chose love over Rome, abandoning the fight to follow her. And so he chose love over Rome, abandoning the fight to follow her. Back in Alexandria, Cleopatra sealed herself inside her palace. The city was falling. Octavian was at the gates. She refused to surrender. Her servants brought her a small basket. Inside, a cobra lay coiled, its gaze unblinking. Cleopatra met its eyes. She closed her own. The serpent struck, and the Queen of the Nile drifted into eternity. Her name would echo through centuries, for some loves are greater than empires. When Antonius heard she was dead, grief consumed him. He forced his way to her chamber, finding her lifeless on the floor. Pain tore through him. He drew his sword and drove it into his chest. As his life slipped away, he looked into her still eyes and whispered,
"I always chose you, and I choose you still."
Since her death, Cleopatra has remained one of the most powerful women ever remembered. In some beliefs, her soul is thought to be immortal. Every detail we have added to this story is based on historical records, findings, and references. If you would like to support us and see more videos like this, don't forget to leave a comment and hit the like button.